Hello folks, and welcome to your weekend warm-up, coming to you from the small fishing village of Monte Carlo. He's back, but enough of that. Rosanna's here for the first time in... When was your last Grand Prix?
Well, do we count Australia 2020?
We do.
I'm not sure if we do.
No, we count. You were
No,
there.
it does count.
Okay.
It's counted.
Well, it was there, but proper full race weekend was Abu Dhabi 2019.
It's wonderful to have you back.
Thanks for having me, and I'm on the weekend warm-up. It's too exciting.
And you're not in the office.
Not in the office, not in the commentary box, not in the studio. I've been let loose, and what a place
I
to be
know.
let loose.
It's amazing, isn't it? Of course, the first time we've been back in 2 years, there was no race in 2020. Lawrence, it's mega to be back. I'm sorry that I literally just pushed you out.
I know
the way.
you
I'm
love
sorry.
me. I know you love me, really. So it's okay.
No, it's lovely to have you back. Can we just before we do anything?
Everything
So,
sparkles in Monaco.
Monaco spec. I thought I'd make the effort, especially coming back after a year out, and I'm super excited to be back here. What a place this is! Lots of people complain it's quite a difficult event to work on, but who really cares when you're in Monaco in a harbour? It's just
And with the grandstands, which will have people in it. He stopped in completely a brilliant place. Just go on, Steve, turn around. Way, there we go. Steve very nearly went A over T just then. We're going to have fans back in the grandstands, 40% capacity. Not everyone, but obviously the people still on their balconies and in the grandstands, and it's going to be absolutely magnificent to see them back.
Yeah, I think it's about 7,500 people, so we're really going to feel that kind of buzz, that atmosphere. We really had lots of fans in and around kind of the paddock area, looking through the fence. Charles Leclerc was signing autographs, gave his hat away actually to a little kid, which I thought was nice. So I think the atmosphere, we're starting to feel like it's a bit more normal again.
Yeah, a bit more racy.
Totally. And talking of that, we come here, of course, on the back of 4 brilliant races to start the season. Rosanna, Red Bull with the 1-lap pace. Mercedes, though, 3 wins to 1.
I know, it's exciting. This is what we wanted. This is what we've all been craving, isn't it? 2021 is delivering, and I think it's going to keep on delivering. And this weekend in particular, I can't call it. I mean, Lewis Hamilton looking so strong, so relaxed. A bit of beef between him and Max Verstappen perhaps bubbling over in the press conference, with Lewis saying Max has a bit more to prove and Max saying no, that's not true. And I think it's just one of these little rivalries, or big rivalries, that we are going to enjoy for a long time.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Zach Brown from McLaren in the week saying that he thought there was going to be contact between those two before too long. Max saying he thought that was clickbait, that he wasn't reading into it. But it's, there's a lot of needle between them. Lawrence, you spoke to Checo?
I spoke to Checo.
You spoke to Checo
Yeah.
earlier today. There we go. I'll get it right at some point. How was he?
Well, he was well. He was quite exhausted because we were the last people in the pen that he spoke to. But he says that his shoulder's all better because, of course, there was that little niggle in Spain, wasn't there? And sort of, he's got a job to play, and here in Monaco, strategy's all important. He needs to be up there. Of course, he's languishing quite far behind Max in the standings. So let's hope no more shoulder injuries, and he can just get that Red Bull where he wants it.
I know I definitely spoke to Valtteri, and he said what he wants, what he needs more than anything, he just wants a win. He wants a win to get himself on the map, to actually get himself into that mix with Lewis and Max for the fight for the World Championship. And with that in mind, let's hear from Max and Lewis right now. Your top 2 in the World Championship, your 2 winners from 2021 so far, Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen.
Now, you had a great battle with Max this year. Do you think it's pushing you to another level?
I think I'm pushing myself to another level. Nothing else.
What do you think's making the difference this year when you're pushing to another level? How do you go about doing that?
It's just focusing on all areas. I think naturally with the pandemic, adjusting to that and implementing changes that we're all having to make, getting more comfortable within the bubble, learning to extract more from yourself. I have more time to train, I have more time to focus, I have more time to be centered, less distractions. My work ethic is just being efficient with your work ethic, with your time, your dialogue with your engineers, how you're pushing the car forwards, how you're extracting each lap and focusing on getting the balance from race to qualifying, all these different things. I think just each year, I think working on being a more all-rounded driver. It's not about just having the most talent. Nobody knows how much talent anyone has. But in my mind, it's about how much work you put in.
Well, I know quite a few things where I think we can improve on, but also things in the background which, of course, I cannot say. But yeah, we'll work on that, and hopefully, already, of course, we made some improvements here. But yeah, anyway, this weekend is a bit different than Barcelona as a street circuit. A lot of things can happen, and we just have to make sure that we have a competitive car, especially, of course, for qualifying, because that's the most important.
Well, the signs in Spain did look like you would be fast in Monaco. That final sector obviously is one that you kind of excel at in Spain, and that's always one that kind of helps you out in Monaco. So do you think a podium is possible or the win is possible? What are you targeting?
Podium, that needs to be the aim for sure. Like we cannot miss that. But of course we want to win. You know, we need to catch up again. It would be of course great to do that here, but at the moment it's a bit difficult to say how close it's going to be. But I'm just looking forward to get started.
I cannot wait to see what these guys can do. They are running a wonderful livery this weekend, Gulf Oil International, and both drivers running some special helmet designs. I spoke to Daniel Ricciardo and he's excited because it's a bit retro, and we're liking the theme of retro, aren't we, Will? We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny, isn't it? You say Gulf livery and you don't even need to explain to people
I know, sorry.
what it is. It's just, no, you don't have to. It's one of those classic liveries. You just say Gulf livery, everyone knows. It's just automatically brought to mind, which is it shows the strength of the marketing.
100%. Daniel was in such high spirits in the media pen. I was like, what's the car going to feel like around this sort of track? Do you think? He's like, time will tell will time. And you could just tell, when he's got that kind of energy where he's all a bit, I said, you just need to get in the car, don't you? That sort of Danny Rick.
Yeah.
That Danny Rick. But let's see. He says this is his favourite circuit. He's sort of listed off all the wonderful street circuits we go to, but for him, this is the one. And I think that's probably the case for so many people up here.
It's a confidence track, though. That's the big thing about this circuit. Big thing, obviously, always about Monaco. And I know one thing he did say today was that he still doesn't expect to be fully comfortable with the car until the midpoint of the season, which is way longer than, everyone wanted 4 or 5 races grace period, but half a season is a long way to go. Lando, though, was really in the headlines. He has done a deal to stay with McLaren, which will take him through till the end of at least 2023. So let's hear from Lando on the day that he has committed his future and McLaren have committed theirs to each other.
I mean, it feels great, even better because there's sun now. So, I'm having a great time. I'm very happy with everything that's been going on. To stay within Formula One is, I guess, a good step, but also to stay with McLaren, for them to have the confidence in me, the faith in me, and then vice versa, for me to have it in them. It goes both ways, So good confidence for both of us makes us want to continue the story that we're writing, but also, I still want to achieve that end goal of winning races and championships together with them, and that's definitely the goal for the future. So that's what we're working towards.
You are a driver whose star shines brightly in this paddock. Have you ever had any conversations with anyone else, or was it McLaren all the way?
No, it was McLaren. McLaren all the way for me at the moment. I think we've had a good few years together. We've achieved a lot and progressed a lot. I have confidence we can continue that, but I think something that's important for me is also that I'm enjoying it and I'm having fun. And I'm not saying I wouldn't have fun at any other team, but I'm a guy that just wants to enjoy every minute. So I'm doing that, and I don't want to kind of ruin that or break that. And I love where I am with McLaren. So I think we have a great partnership together. We work very well together, and I want to continue that for many more years. So I'm a happy guy.
It's cold in the shade, isn't it?
It's starting to get nippy. I'm so glad you mentioned that. I should have bought my summer scarf.
I know, you and your scarf and your Ziggy Stardust boots. Aston Martin, they need some Ziggy Stardust boots, don't they? They need something to crack on.
Yeah, I think they're at this kind of weird position where they're throwing upgrades on the car, and I think they're making a difference, but it's not making anywhere near enough of a difference for them to really launch themselves up the field. And I spoke to Lance Stroll earlier today, and he was in a reasonably good mood, but I think he kind of accepts that at the moment they're not really fighting for points or decent points at the moment. It's really a battle to get in there.
Yeah, it really is. Sebastian, I know, was talking to Rosanna. He said that the upgrades have helped, but he's still not quite there. It's not just one lap pace either. It's really across the board. They just don't have the pace to compete as much as they'd want to with the top 10 right now. It's going to be a struggle.
Yeah, I think so. And especially on a track like this where qualifying is going to be so important, if they find their way, find themselves all the way out of the top 10, it's going to be a really, really long afternoon.
It is, particularly because this team right here have found themselves back in the top 10. Disappointing first couple of races. Portugal and Spain, though, showed the turnaround, showed the potential that exists within the car and the lineup. and they're both hoping for top 10 results this weekend.
The fortunes actually of these two couldn't be any more different, I think. You've got an Esteban Ocon who's operating at such a high level at the moment, 3 points finishes in a row. He's buzzing, thinks a really strong qualifying's on the cards here, which means a strong result.
Yeah.
You've got Fernando admitting that qualifying is a bit difficult for him at this moment in time. He's not really making the most out of the car. He accepts that, and I think that's important that he's publicly saying that. That will give the team kind of confidence that he's not hiding anything. I fancy these guys to get a really big result this weekend.
Yeah, of course, as you said, Fernando admitting he still has some work to do in qualifying. This place, it's all about track position, all about qualifying. Esteban Ocon, though, really looking forward to this weekend. Let's hear from him.
It's been a nice couple of races, good improvements, from my side, from the team side. I think we have to keep going like we are doing at the moment. Obviously, we are coming here in Monaco. It's tough weekend. You need to build on the confidence. You need to stay away from trouble as well. And the car's been performing well. So we'll see what this weekend reserves to us.
How much extra boost does it give you that you come to a track where you need confidence here, and you have got a car by the sounds of it that you have got confidence in already?
Yeah, exactly. But one weekend normally doesn't follow the other one. But yeah, it's been performing well, the car. I think it's been great in the last couple of races, so we need to take that confidence on board, but we still need to think that maybe it's not going to be as nice as it has been, but we need to keep some magic tools in our pocket in case that this comes. So yeah, we are thinking about all the scenarios possible, but we've been working well in the sim, and we'll see how it performs here.
Interesting in the week that Ferrari admitted, Rosanna Tennant, that 90 to 95% of their attention is now focused on 2022 when they find themselves in the midst of this brilliant battle with McLaren over third in the Constructors' Championship.
Yeah, it's a funny place to find themselves. And I think they do feel like they've got a chance not to potentially be on the podium. I think they've kind of signed that away to Mercedes and Red Bull. But P4 is where they're kind of at. And that's something that we wouldn't have thought of last year, would we? So
No.
it is an odd place they find themselves in.
Well, you spoke to both of them. Carlos, how is he feeling?
Oh, so sweet. I have to say it's sweet. He was very nostalgic. He said, if you had told me when I was back here in 2008 that I would be in a Ferrari driving around Monaco, he said I would have exploded with excitement.
Oh, that's a great quote.
But it was great because I just felt, yes, they are racing drivers. They're racers. They love the sport. They love the history of it all. And of course, none more so than a Sainz, of course. And Charles Leclerc, of course, a home Grand Prix.
Yeah.
As you mentioned earlier, fans in the grandstand, so friends and family can come and watch. But he did say, his first line to me was, it's weird being here. And I was a bit taken aback because I thought, well, why? He's like, because I go for a drink here. This is my home. I've got to switch it into race mode.
That's it, isn't it?
And I think that is it's not a pressure, but it's just something to think about when he walks into the paddock every day.
4 DNFs for him over his last 4 years racing here. That's not the record you want.
No, and we often see that sometimes, a home race can deliver some pressure. We saw it with Danny Rick in Melbourne a few years ago.
Yeah,
so perhaps this could be the year that it comes good. And yeah, those two guys just loving it. I think I always keep an eye on Instagram, as you do, Will, as well. And both of them just putting up pictures, what a place. I love this place. And they really kind of have that exuberance and excitement.
The banners, the advertising hoardings with their faces plastered all over them. It's great for both of them.
So lovely.
They are in that battle for third. As you said, they're either the fourth quickest car or the third quickest car, depending on where we go. It's going to be fascinating to see how that battle shapes out between them and McLaren this weekend. Also, though, for AlphaTauri, which has on occasion looked like they're the third fastest team, and yet it's just not come together for them this season.
Well, I think also going into a weekend like here in Monaco, where obviously the slow speed is a bit of a critical factor, it's not suiting the car at the moment for AlphaTauri. And I spoke to Jody Enkin a little earlier on, and he was saying, technical director for the team, saying, it's not our strongest area, so there's going to be some work as we have George Russell's car just being wheeled behind us. But I didn't have a chat with Pierre. I had a nice chat with Yuki Tsunoda, who, well, he didn't even know that we have a rest day during the race weekend on a Friday here in Monaco, so he's still learning. And he even said to me that he didn't know in Bahrain that they had FP3 on a Saturday. He thought all the practice sessions were on a Friday. I just love Yuki Tsunoda. He's just so kind of happy-go-lucky, loving it.
Beautiful. Well, why don't we hear from Yuki? I spoke to Pierre earlier. He said he reckons the driver can still make the difference here, so he's hoping to do that in a car which he knows is capable of top 10 performances. But let's hear from Yuki, because, as you say, he's always so great to talk to. You never know quite where he's going to go with his interviews. But great stuff out of Yuki today. Let's hear from him.
How are you?
Oh, good, fine. It's hard to be not good in Monaco,
Very true. What a place. And of course, you've not raced here. So how are you feeling about it?
I never practiced. I never came here. So yeah, I was here from Sunday evening. Yeah, just incredible because when I arrived, it was just really dark, so I couldn't see much. But as soon as this morning, just was completely different view and was amazing. Yeah.
So how have you prepared then for the race, given that you've never raced here before? Have you done it simulator or maybe past experiences?
I done a lot of simulator before this race week, especially like the city track. Need a really good build up confidence and need a good experience. So to maximize that experience, and it's not impossible to practice here before this race week. So I did a lot of simulator in the Milton Keynes or in Red Bull, 3 days, which was I never have like this much simulator sessions. And for now, I feel ready. Like I think I did maximum preparation before this race week, and I have to deliver for that. But still, need to build it up the pace from even in first lap. You don't want to go to the wall from free practice one and can get can drive in free practice or free. That's the worst situation. So my just main target is have a clean sessions until qualifying, and to build up the pace, build up the confidence, and yeah, just I say in qualifying. Yeah.
Alfa Romeo, Lawrence. It is, isn't it?
Yes. I don't know, is this content? Yeah.
This is what people tune in for.
Well done, this is Alfa Romeo. The next team is Haas Williams.
I spoke to Kimi Räikkönen earlier today, and Kimi said that this place isn't all that special. It's not. Well, he was just like, it's like every other track and blah, blah, blah. But he did say that actually, when you get it a bit wrong, or when you absolutely nail it, it does still excite, and it is totally mega. But he was a bit like, it's not more exciting or less exciting than anywhere else, but it does still. I think in a Kimi way, he was trying to say, yeah, it still kind of gets you when you get it right.
I reckon that, Kimi's been around for a long time now, but I do think that when you get to qualify, and this is really what gets him out of bed in the morning, this is probably what gets him signing the contracts year in, year out, because it's for driving challenges like this.
There is something magic about this place, that you can be at your most jaded with the sport, and then you get here and it's like, it's insane, completely insane. Down here at Haas, it's going to be a difficult year. It's been a difficult first 4 races, but I got to say, I spoke to Mick earlier. That performance in Spain, I think it's gone really under the radar in terms of just how good it was to out-qualify a Williams.
Yeah.
To then race higher than the Williamses, to battle with Tsunoda in the Alpha Tauri. He had a really impressive run.
I think this is going to be the challenge for Mick, isn't it, throughout this year at Haas, is trying to show his potential. But I think if we keep pinpointing examples like that, where he can really show what he's got in a car that's not that strong, then I think he's got the makings of, a bright future.
The other thing he said was, I sort of pointed out the slight instability at the rear of the car, and a circuit like this, that's one of the last things you need is a rear that's loose and dovetailing around. He said, actually, I prefer it to be like that than to be understeering, because at least if I stick it into the corner, I know it's going to stick, and I know where the nose is going to go, and then I can sort the rear out, rather than it being understeering. I turn it into the corner and I'm straight into the barrier. So he was.
You don't want that around here.
No. So he's feeling pretty good about the weekend, confident. The same can't be said for Mazepin, who still doesn't have the confidence in the car, and he's still, I think, just trying to take 5 steps forward before he can take his first baby steps. He needs to give himself the time and the space, because every time he rushes ahead, he holds himself back because he's killing his confidence.
I think you saw when he was talking in the press conference today that he is struggling to deal with that in his head, the difficulty of wanting to push on and trying to make kind of big gains quickly, and then realising, well, you can't really do that when you're trying to start from a reasonably low base. I know a lot of people have said, well, he's had tons of testing in a Mercedes. Why isn't he ready to go? Well,
it's not a Mercedes.
That's the thing, I think, and I think that's probably in the back of his mind as well. This is such a difficult car to drive and something very difficult to adapt to.
And on a circuit like this, if he tries to take that massive leap forwards and ends in the barrier during FP1, then again that confidence just gets thrown all the way back.
Just puts him all the way back again. And here he can't afford to do that by a long, long way.
But there's a good little racing driver in there. There is a good racing
I think
driver.
there is the potential to do that. It's just whether he can kind of rein things in a little bit.
Absolutely. Down here at Williams, 750 Grand Prix being celebrated this weekend. Nicholas Latifi, you spoke to him?
Yes, in a pretty good mood, coming into Monaco, because I think they feel that must have hurt.
Oops. It's all right, it didn't break.
That was a whoopsie, baby.
It didn't break.
Nicky was kind of hopeful that Monaco, the track layout, offers them opportunities, because while they've managed to close the gap to the rest of the field, they're still not in the position where they can regularly score points. So that's what he's hoping for, opportunities.
So in Spain, he said he wasn't happy with the car and he wanted them to tear it all apart after Portugal and Spain to see if there was anything wrong with it. There weren't a thing wrong with it.
And he said he didn't find anything between Spain and Monaco either, so it's tricky, isn't it?
There we go. Yes. However, George Russell missed a Saturday, hoping to be able to put on a show here this weekend. If it's all about the driver making the difference, if it's all about track position, and he can get that thing up to where he normally does, maybe even higher, maybe even Q3, could this be the weekend for George Russell? How proud are you to be playing such a pivotal role in taking this team back to the glory days?
I'm really proud, to be honest. Obviously, so much history and pride within this team. Obviously, I joined when they're at the back, but I feel, being part of this journey and hopefully bringing the team back to the front of the grid, hopefully I can look back and say I was part of that. And I think it is really exciting. The future of the team has got in store.
Great race in Spain. I know after the race you said the car felt great, was really coming alive for you. When you roll that positivity into this weekend, given what a Saturday specialist you've proven yourself to be, what are your, I'm not going to ask for expectations, but hopes at least coming here?
I mean, the hopes is we can sneak into Q3, to be honest. I think, Saturday has where we have come alive. We've always managed to find something a little bit extra on our rivals on that Saturday afternoon, wherever that's come from, I don't know. But here in Monaco, it's all about qualifying. But equally, I know how difficult it's going to be. It's a circuit that's all about confidence. You need to have a good rhythm within the car from lap 1 on the track on Thursday. I couldn't possibly tell you. I think, the top teams, they are the best cars, which give the driver the most confidence. And sometimes on a track like this, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. But I hope we can prove that wrong and we can bring in a stellar performance.
And that is about it from your weekend warm-up. Just time for random, very wrong predictions. Lauren, what did I predict last time?
I don't know, I didn't watch it well.
This guy. What's your prediction?
My prediction is a Ferrari on the podium.
Oh, I was going to go with that.
I'm going to go Carlos Sainz on the podium.
Nice. Rosanna?
I'm going to say Perez on the podium. Qualifies well here in Monaco, been on the podium before, so I think he might be able to do it in the Red Bull.
Well, in that case, I'll go for a McLaren podium. Why not Lando to celebrate his new contracts in that beautiful Gulf? Although we must say the Gulf overalls aren't proper, are they? It should be plain white with the stripe. Anyway. And George Russell for a point.
There we go.
I've just gone and jinxed him out of his point. I'm so sorry, George and Williams, on your 750th place. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. Rosanna, so great to have you back
Pleasure.
at the track. It's nice to have you back too, mate. And enjoy the weekend, folks. Of course, don't forget, everything's a little bit sort of mixed and matched over the weekend. Media day was today. Practice day is Thursday. Friday is a day off for Formula One. And Saturday, quali. Sunday, the race, obviously. Right, from her and him and me. See you later.